G'day, mates! Welcome to the Red or Blue Pill channel, people. Thank you for returning subscribers. If you are new, what we do is go through creepy TikToks that make you question reality. Don't forget, sub up, turn on notifications, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Let's roll.
Trump was just questioned about the TikTok ban, and I'm a little concerned now. So Trump just had a sit-down interview, and the interviewer asked him directly about his stance on TikTok. And I'm a little concerned because Trump did not give us a straight answer. Instead, his answer was more like, moo. Okay, he didn't actually say that. That just wasn't a straight answer. But instead of answering the question with a yes or no, he basically said that he's going to make sure that TikTok's competitors do not become monopolies. Now, this is concerning to me because when he was campaigning, he was all about saving TikTok. Like he was directly talking about him saving TikTok. Now, look, I understand the ban is set to go into effect the day before he becomes president. But even though the ban is already law, there are still things he can do as president to do a little emote and skirt around the ban. And that's what we want to see. We want to see anything to save TikTok. A lot of Americans rely on this app for many different reasons. Some of those reasons being businesses and their livelihoods. So Trump, if you were seeing this, we need to know that you're on our side and that you want to save TikTok. We're tired of having things we like being taken away from us because the government doesn't like it. So Trump, if you do happen to see this, please at least try your hardest to save TikTok. Everybody loves this app and none of us want to go to Reels.
I thought the same thing. Trump's just going to put this all to bed like it's nonsense. He'll just say TikTok is fine, but he is right. He definitely didn't sound like he was going to save TikTok in his latest interview. I'll play that for you now.
This week, a federal court upheld a law that could result in TikTok being banned. You said you're going to rescue TikTok when you get into office. Are you going to take steps to protect it?
Yeah, and as you know, I use TikTok very successfully in my campaign. I have a man named TikTok Jack. He was very effective, obviously, because I won youth by 30%. All Republicans lose youth. I don't know why. Maybe it's changing. And last time we were down 30% with youth. This time we're up 35% with youth. And I use TikTok, so I can't really, I can't totally hate it. It was very effective. But I will say this, if you do that, something else is going to come along and take its place. And maybe that's not fair. What they're doing, and really what the judge actually said was that you can't have Chinese companies. In other words, they have the right to ban it if you can prove that the Chinese companies own it. That's what the judge actually
said. So are you going to try to protect TikTok just very quick once you're in office?
I'm going to try and make it so that other companies don't become an even bigger monopoly.
Okay.
Because that's what happens.
Freedom of speech. That is what I care about. So, the good thing about TikToks is it unites the whole world. So you don't just get one side. You can get lots of different sides of the story. So I like what he's saying with regards to not having a monopoly over everything, spreading the wealth, I think is what he's getting at, which is a very positive thing, a good thing. Just limit the amount people can earn and jobs are good. But at the same time, it's good. TikTok is good for spreading and not spreading. Well, it's spreading, but sharing information and talking and giving your opinion. So yeah, I don't know. It's the first comment on there is dog named Ellie, and it's but I'm going to need everyone in New Jersey to purchase high definition night vision cameras. It is every video, every thing is not a great video. Like we need someone with a P1000 who can get all up in this thing, so we can see what's going on. I don't know what happened there. That is weird though. I don't know. There's so much weird stuff going on. I have to leave a lot of the UFO stuff out now, peeps, because it's just too much of it. But there is a lot going on, especially in this place, like the New Jersey place. I don't know what.
Robert Welch predicted 50 years ago that the United States would be in its current state right now. Watch this till the end. I would appreciate it.
A part of that plan, of course, is to induce the gradual surrender of American sovereignty, piece by piece and step by step, to various international organizations, of which the United Nations is the outstanding but far from the only example. Here are the aims for the United States. 1,
Wow. Watch this till the end. Seriously, Donald Trump.
Greatly expanded government spending for every conceivable means of getting rid of ever larger sums of American money as wastefully as possible.
We got Nostradamus?
2, higher and then much higher taxes. 3, an increasingly unbalanced budget despite the higher taxes. 4, wild inflation of our currency. 5, government controls of prices, wages, and materials, supposedly to combat inflation.
Facts.
6, greatly increased socialistic controls over every operation of our economy and every activity of our daily lives.
Wow.
This is to be accompanied naturally and automatically by a correspondingly huge increase in the size of our bureaucracy and in both the cost and reach of our domestic government.
Democrats.
7, far more centralization of power in Washington and the practical elimination of our state lines.
Share repost.
There is a many-faceted drive at work to have our state lines eventually mean no more within the nation than our county lines do now within the states. 8, the steady advance of federal aid to and control over our educational system, leading to complete federalization of our public education. 9, a constant hammering into the American consciousness of the horror of modern warfare, the beauties and the absolute necessity of peace. Peace always on communist terms, of course.
Smash the heart.
And 10, the consequent willingness of the American people to allow the steps of appeasement by our government, which amount to a piecemeal surrender of the rest of the free world and of the United States itself.
Unbelievable, Jeff. Unbelievable.
We have guardian angels. We have spirit guides. Our ancestors walk with us, through this life. They're in our DNA. I like the idea of a higher self as well. Like the greatest possible version of myself is somewhere here, always present. You can always tap into that. It's always here.
So what do we have here? Lucifer the light bearer. See, these things are all across the United States of America. That's Lucifer. See that? Goat Lucy. See that? Now you see the Masonic obelisk? Right. Who's up there? The angels. You see the opening of the phallus, the obelisk? This is blasphemy against God. It's all over the place, y'all. You cannot deny what you see. This is all over. This is an Egyptian statue, which is an obelisk, which is at the Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. And who's at the center of it? Lucifer the light bearer. Wake up.
Whoa. Well, I don't know, but I've started my journey again, people. Just to let you know, I am reading the Bible again, but I've started again because I didn't take notes the first time, so I wanted to take notes. So I started on the book of Genesis. I am writing down family trees because that's what I want to get to understand. And by the way, Nimrod, his father is Cush. Cush is in the same family line as like Noah. He's from Noah's. He's a Noah descendant, which I found out, which I found very interesting. Because I want to do some research on this old Nimrod, because Nimrod is had the strength. He was like linked with Babylon, and he has the Lord's strength in the Bible, is what it says. But I hear whispers, but I've not read anything. But apparently, there's some stuff that I need to learn. So, yeah, I'm going to get to it. Whoever it is that's recommended the Book of Enoch, I'm going to get to it, but I am really going to get through the Bible now, and I'm going to take notes. I'm going to do what I'm going to do, so you can all see it, is I'm going to put up a family tree. I'm going to put up the locations, all of that stuff, but I'm going to do it myself because I don't want to read it off third parties. I want to read the stuff myself, so I know it's confirmed, and I'm going to put it all together. just like a massive jigsaw puzzle. And then I got to start reading all the other stuff. It's going to be exciting.
You know what's crazy about SpaceX? Well, it's being celebrated that they just flew 870 miles into space, which was incredible and amazing, right? But almost 60 years ago, 50 some odd years ago, we were on the moon, which is complete with the dune buggy thing and excursion, and they had less computing power than they do today. And the moon is almost 240,000 miles away. So, do you see the issue here?
'Cause it was made in a Hollywood basement.
This one's crazy. Out of all the UFO footage I've seen, I've never seen something that looks like this. Look at that. It looks like one of those deep sea jellyfish with the lights in. What on earth are we looking at? I'm just waiting for this AI. It's AI.
I have absolutely no idea what I was looking at there. It's like an upside down building, but then the lights was going all mental. I have no idea what that is. Anybody else know what that is? Looks interdimensional, apparently, is what it says. Aliens. Doesn't have a location. I bet it's that place. Jersey, is it? Aliens all over the shop up there. All over the shop, San.
So I think I finally figured out why things feel a little bit off whenever we see Trump and Elon Musk together. Something is really off, you guys. And I think I finally figured it out. Now, it's probably been said before. I don't know. I don't follow all other psychics or astrologers or whatever. This is something that purely came to me, not in a vision. So I'm not technically going to call it a prediction. I'm going to say it's more of a knowing or an unveiling, sort of like a blanket comes off your eyes and you see for the first time. I think I know what it is. So there's this woman called Dolores Cannon, and she said that Nostradamus predicted that there were going to be 3 antichrists. See where I'm going with this? 3. Hitler, someone else, and now I think Elon actually is going to be the 3rd one. Now, when I was listening to her talk, I'm like, please don't say that Trump is the Antichrist. And just so you know, right now, I have a little mouse on my car here, and it's going crazy. Like, it's like making little things. Like Spirit's like, yes, Jen, preach, tell everybody that it's the Antichrist. And again, it's probably been said by other people, but I want to announce that now I have figured it out. That's what's so off about him. It's not the autism. It's not that he's an alien. There's something always off about him. And yeah, I know about the dark maga and all these other things, but I think that's what's happening. I think there's something crazy going on. I've got more information I'll share with you later that actually is prediction. This is not. This is like me being like, holy crap, and confirming it with people, because
I have technology glitches all the time. All the time. If you don't ask me, go and ask Danny at DM Reacts, because whenever we hook up, like, he sees it for himself as well. Like, literally, it's the universe, because it's different things trying to stop me to do things. Like, get videos out, for instance. Everything will break within a 20-minute period. So I'll do something. TikTok will break. But I'll find a workaround around that. And then I'll get onto my videos. And then my videos won't record. And then my keyboard stops working. And then my mouse stops working. Like, I kid you not. Technology around me. As soon as I start talking about weird stuff, boom, straight away. Like, things go weird. When I'm talking about the simulation or that sort of stuff. But yeah, there's something not quite right. Not quite right. But we just got to play it out. See where it goes. I ain't worried, because I'm happy. We're happy people. We are happy people. People. You know what I mean? Stay positive. You can't do anything about it. We're in the show. So let's change the narrative and just be happy. You know? Either that or just go mental.
There's 3 big companies, BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard. These are the biggest companies. They own everything, including they own each other. So it's really just one big company. BlackRock has $10 trillion under management. The GDP of California is $3 trillion. So they're 3 times the size of California. California economy is the 5th largest in the world. of all nations. Those three companies own 88% of the S&P 500.
It's just simple. There is no reason for billionaires. Like, nobody can be a billionaire. Nobody. Even the people that want to control the world can't be billionaires. Let's just get rid of billionaires. Let's spread the wealth and let's just sort this world out. These companies that control everything, this is the problem. So, yeah, we need to solve that. Well, that looks flat to me. If you ask me, flat as a pancake.
Almost $1,000 on a ticket, right? And you can't remember anything?
It felt like so surreal. Afterwards, as we were leaving, I was like, did she play this song? I don't remember this song. I don't remember her doing that.
You've probably already guessed what the rumour is, but in case you haven't, people are claiming that Taylor Swift has the ability to cast spells over her fans. I'm not so sure about this, but there is one thing that my research did reveal, and it's this. Taylor Swift uses a lot of biblical imagery in her music videos, and not in a good way. In one of her biggest chart toppers, Blank Space, Taylor Swift not only has the whole white horse symbolism, but she ridicules the Adam and Eve story by eating an apple and then offering some to her boyfriend, who, once he realises just what he's eating, he removes it from his mouth immediately. In her recent song, Karma, we see a scene from the place of God's eternal judgment, where Taylor and her dancers are wearing very dark masks, and they're retelling this lie, that this place is just one big party. She even sings the line, "Everyone you burned just to get there," which kind of emphasises this point even more.
Billy's trying to sue me because I got him on a podcast with a real historian who debunked all his BS in terms of Christianity.
Maybe he wasn't crucified.
Yes, the debate freaking took place with Billy Carson and Wesley Huff. Yeah. Keep going. Right, we can do a follow-up.
I really appreciate it, Billy. Thanks so much for interacting.
I just had an obstacle thrown at me yesterday. Some crazy crap happened from somebody that I really thought was a close friend. And this person did some diabolical backstabbing stuff just yesterday.
Diabolical backstabbing. Billy, please explain to me how getting somebody on an interview with you, which we told you about, is diabolical and backstabbing. You knew exactly what you were walking into, but you were probably too lazy to do your own research because clearly you don't know how to do that. And you didn't look up who Wesley was. And because you came face to face with a real historian and linguist, the fraudulent documents you like to claim as truthful have nothing to stand on. You didn't like that you got exposed.
Ooh, that's interesting. I'm going to watch that. I think it's on YouTube. You can find it. I'm going to go and watch it.
This is it for us, as scientists have spotted an angry biblical creature larger than a planet coming towards us from space, and they've been looking right at us. People were terrified after one man looked through his telescope to see an insanely bright light shining down, almost the size of our moon, radiating several different colors at once, and even appearing like a cross or a bright being descending.
I can definitely see that it's changing colors, and I can see this even without looking at my camera.
This gets creepier as the Bible describes in Luke 21:25 the Star of Jacob appearing in the night for weeks after disasters and wars before life ends. And this is exactly what scientists say will happen with this star. And our time on Earth is ticking, with many people saying the end will come much sooner, as this comes right after scientists recorded hunting clips of the sky screaming and singing, and scientists cannot find a source for where this is coming from. Other realistic theories suggest there is definitely a reason, and the Star of Jacob in the Bible was never supposed to be taken literally.
Breaking news, as leaders around the world, including Donald Trump, Zelensky, Emmanuel Macron, Elon Musk, Jill Biden, Bernard Arnault gather in Paris to attend the reopening of the Catholic Notre Dame Cathedral, which burned down 5 years ago, costing $800 million to rebuild. The Pope Francis is coming under fire after refusing to go, instead went to a ceremony for the Nativity of Bethlehem, a unique display crafted by Palestinian artists as he was surrounded by ambassadors to Palestine. However, the art showed baby Jesus draped in a keffiyeh, suggesting that Jesus was Palestinian, sparking outrage amongst Christians. Look at that. Join me on Discord to talk about it.
What a shocking discovery. Elvis Presley signed the name Bob Joyce on a poster from the 1960s. This means that Elvis had a connection to the name Bob Joyce while he was still alive, seemingly confirming the speculation about the relationship between Bob and Elvis. First, Elvis's loyal fans know that he expressed a strong liking for the name Bob and would privately use Bob Joyce as an alias. Secondly, their appearances are strikingly similar. Thirdly, both possess extraordinary musical talent and share a love for the guitar and piano. Watching Bob passionately sing in church easily brings to mind the image of the rock king shining on stage in his prime. Fourth, anatomists have compared the body proportions of Elvis and Bob, discovering that their body proportions and bone structures are identical. Additionally, many fans have visited Bob's church in Arkansas and expressed their certainty that Bob and Elvis are indeed the same person. So, did Elvis really fake his death to assume a new identity and return to a peaceful, ordinary life after being a rock legend?
Being a celebrity is probably going to get a lot in it. You know, you probably are going to want to just, I've had enough now. How can I get out of this? And there is a service where you can pay someone to fake your death, just get documents and live out your life as somebody else. This really not that far-fetched.
So y'all remember when we were telling y'all not to upgrade to iOS 18? Well, there was a very good reason why. So apparently there's a global cyber attack that's coming in from China. This is strictly affecting the iPhone and the Android users. They're able to pick up and see what you guys are texting one another. That is so weird, but check this out, y'all. The FBI is warning y'all about this.
To that warning from the FBI to iPhone and Android phone users, this is about the security of your communications. ABC's Alexis Christophorus is here to explain. Alexis, there's a lot of debate between iPhone and Android users, but this is actually serious.
This is big time serious. You're right. Look, texting is a way of life, right? It's sort of second nature for us. Well, now the FBI is warning that if you are texting between an iPhone and an Android, the Chinese government may be able to see your messages. U.S. officials say the Chinese have hacked their way into the SMS system that sends those green bubbled text messages between users of different phone systems. So to keep your text messages safe, cybersecurity experts are recommending using encrypted programs like WhatsApp, Signal, or Telegraph. There are lots of them out there. They also recommend using a cell phone that automatically receives those operating system updates. And be careful not to text sensitive personal information like social security numbers, credit card info, or your passwords. Of course, a foolproof way to protect your text is just to pick up the phone and call, right? We just don't do that anymore. This FBI warning comes after the White House said a global cybersecurity attack occurred this summer in which they say Chinese hackers breached at least 8 telecom companies, including AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile, in order to spy on top U.S. political figures. U.S. officials say they are still trying to help those telecom providers get the hackers off their networks. They don't have a timeline for when that will happen.
It seems that China has done it again. See, that's why Trump banned this Huawei phone that was made by China, because, I guess they wanted to spy on us. And I love how they didn't even tell us what to do, so these people are reading the message between us now. But yes, y'all, I told y'all, things are getting a lot more interesting, y'all. The shift is here. Let's continue to get it. And let me know what you guys think about this video, y'all. Peace in.
I've just realised what all this is. I mean, what is China going to do with my text messages? I don't text anyone for a start. If I did, it's probably something from the shop. Like, it's not exactly, like giving you the code to, some nuclear bomb. I'm just an ordinary person. I have nothing on my phone to get. So why would China be trying to get me text messages? And I've just thought this, I thought about TikTok being banned. I just thought, well, it don't really matter because all you're going to do is go and get a VPN, change the country that you live in, and get TikTok. So is this just a way of pushing the sale of VPN software? Do I need to go and invest in VPN? Because I know that there's probably going to be an uptake in VPN very soon, probably by January. Is this what it is all about? It's monetizing and selling VPN systems. It's just now that I did think that earlier. Now I'm thinking it definitely use encrypted apps, VPN systems.
Okay, major breaking news. The Syrian government has officially fallen in what is truly a seismic moment for the Middle East. Now, if you've been hearing about this, but you don't really know what's going on, essentially, rebel forces have been making their way to the country's capital, Damascus, for the past few days. But then, the huge moment came last night when the now former president Assad was forced to flee the country, ending his 24-year rule. But this is even crazier when you consider that Assad came to power in the year 2000 after his father ruled the country for 29 years. So that's 53 years of similar rule ended overnight. Now, of course, it's never as easy as, is this a good or a bad thing? It's complicated. Some see this as a good thing, saying that Assad and his father were authoritarian leaders who suppressed protests, crushed all forms of dissent, and ruled with an iron fist and were propped up by Russia and Iran. In fact, and this is one of the biggest things, is that in 2011 there was an uprising against Assad, which led to an all-out civil war. It's been raging for the last 13 years, 500,000 people have been killed, and 12 million have been displaced. And so, with last night's developments, it's hoped that the end of this civil war has finally come. And so many are hoping that with the end of Assad's rule, it will usher in the start of a new era for the country, which countless Syrians are celebrating in the streets right now. But not everyone sees this as all good, because the rebel forces, HST, which have now captured Damascus, have their own issues too. It is designated as a terrorist group by the US, their leader has a $10 million wanted bounty, and there are already some serious human rights concerns in the areas that they control. So because the country is now in uncharted territory, no one really knows how this is all going to play out. But as always, I'll keep you guys updated.
So apparently the Vatican is going to live stream from a tomb. It's St. Paul's tomb right next to the tomb of Lucifer.
All right, something strange is going on here. So as we can see right here, the Vatican installs webcam at St. Peter's tomb for next year's Catholic Jubilee. So we can see how St. Peter's tomb is now being live streamed as the Vatican embraces technology in its quest to connect with Catholics in far-flung places during Holy Year, an event expected to bring as many as, oh look at that, 33 million pilgrims to Rome. That number sure likes to pop up a lot. I'm sure it's just a coincidence. But let's continue. Pope Francis on Monday inaugurated the live webcam, which has been installed at the tomb of the apostle beneath the main altar of St. Peter's Basilica. A webcam will also be placed on the basilica's huge bronze holy door, which Francis will open on December 24th to officially mark the beginning of the Jubilee 2025. The opening of the door, which is bricked up between Jubilee years, is especially important for pilgrims, as those who walk through it will be granted a plenary indulgence, something Catholics believe cleanses the soul from sin. So by the way, only the blood of Jesus will cleanse your soul from sin. But hey, for pilgrims who cannot travel to Rome, again, I'll go back to Rome, the webcam grants them symbolic access. The Vatican says the Vatican has also used artificial intelligence-enabled technology to create a stunning 3D replica of St. Peter's Basilica that will allow virtual visitors to explore every nook and cranny of the Renaissance-era building. Welcome to the metaverse, the universe where an artificial intelligence god will reign to those who are plugged into the system, connecting to the hive mind, and in that world, we know who controls it. Now, with this going on, I want to remind you how all roads lead to Rome. And we know how this guy right here is all about America being the new resurrected Rome. And I wonder if it's just a coincidence how him and Mr. King of the World were together yesterday at the Notre Dame reopening. The Notre Dame in Paris that caught fire in 2019, which reopened yesterday after 5 years. Now, I'm not sure about you guys, but I see clear Phoenix symbolism here. From the fire and ashes, we have the rebirth of Notre Dame, a sign of renewal for the church in France. Something I found interesting is how Notre Dame means Our Lady. Now to the Catholics, they see this lady as Mary, but to the ancient mystery religions, they see this woman as Ishtar or Semiramis or Isis. This all goes back to the mother goddess sun cult worship. That is why you see here in Revelation chapter 17, the woman is known as Mystery Babylon. The woman here whom all the kings of the earth commit fornication with, and this woman is sitting on a scarlet beast. I guess it's just a coincidence how the kings of the earth all met at Notre Dame yesterday. And Mr. King of the World right here was welcomed by these other kings and world leaders. Makes you wonder why this guy was there as well. But hey, remember, these are all just weird coincidences. Just like the same weird coincidence how earlier this year in
Paris, France, we had at the Olympics the white horse rider coming out. I'm sure this right here has no significance at all, how he returns to the world stage for Notre Dame. Now, it's also a pretty wild coincidence how on the same day that this reopening was happening for Notre Dame, we had Damascus falling. Again, I am just pointing out some odd things happening. You can go ahead and connect the dots on your own. But the main takeaway here is that all roads lead to Rome. And it will be the resurrected Roman Empire that ushers in the Antichrist. Now, with that all being said, you can take it or leave it, but I pray and hope that you trust and believe in Jesus for eternal life, the true good news that he came for sinners to save us and to redeem us. It is simple, childlike faith that saves, guys. Please understand, if there's anything that you're going to take away from this video right now, please listen to these words. God wants your heart. He wants a relationship with you. He wants you to trust and believe in him. It is that simple, childlike faith that saves. Now, you may be asking, what do I have faith in? What am I trusting in? You have faith, you have trust in Jesus as the Son of God, that he lived the perfect life for you. He paid your sin penalty on the cross. He was buried for 3 days, and he rose on the third day to prove to you that he is the one who conquered sin and death, and you shall also be resurrected likewise with a glorified body if you trust and believe in him for this. And from this point, you continue to live by faith, the same faith that you trusted in him for eternal life, for his sacrifice on the cross, and for redemption is the same faith that you live every single day down here. You walk and you live by faith. You trust in him. You pray to him. You seek him for discernment. You seek him for wisdom. You lean upon him for all understanding during these crazy, deceptive times. With that, guys, do not get sucked into this world right now. The deception is thick. The delusion is over so many people. They are being sucked into this world. They have hope in this world, but we are told to not love the world nor the things in this world. For the love of the Father is not found in this world. I love you all so much. God bless and remember, the just shall live by faith.
Who is the Pope? He is the Emperor of Rome. Rome never died, never faded away. It became the Vatican. What is the Vatican? It is the priesthood of all of the old pagan religions of Rome, built upon the deception that they are Christian. Can man change the orders of God? Can man elevate himself above God? No. Then why did the Pope change the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday, the venerable day of the worship of the sun Osiris? Why in the outer courtyard of the Vatican is there a temple of the sun, an obelisk, and a reflecting pool built as a fountain around the base of the obelisk? Because what we're talking about in Dealey Plaza and in Washington, D.C. exists also in the Vatican. And I'm not trying to insult Catholics, I'm just trying to tell you the truth.
Oh, my head hurts. My head hurts. Oh, so it does. What is going on in the world? It is absolutely bonkers. Thanks for watching, people. End of the show. Appreciate the support. Have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you tomorrow.